Okay, so they give us this system of equations. 3x plus y equals 7, that's equation A. 4x equals y minus 4 is equation B. They want us to find the solution, the ordered pair solution, using Cramer's rule. Now, I purposely screwed up this equation, the second equation, so we'd have to do a preliminary step, and that is this step, what I'll represent with my curvy arrow. We need to line up all the x's and line up all the y's, that type of stuff. So the first equation is cool. 3x plus y equals 7. No problem. Equation A. But the second one is going to require that we subtract y from both sides to line things up. So we'll move the 4x underneath the 3x. And then when we subtract y from both sides, we get a negative y here. Bring down the equal sign, and then the negative 4 on the other side. That's my equation B. So I just move things around. So all the x's are lined up, all the y's are lined up, the equal signs have to be lined up, and then the constant numbers that have no variable are lined up. So we're using Cramer's rule. The first step was capital D, the determinant capital D. And that's a determinant formed by the coefficients of the x's, 3 down below 4, next to the coefficients of the y's, positive 1 down below negative 1. Now let's use cross product minus cross product to get this determinant. 3 times negative 1 minus 4 times 1. Now, yeah, I could do that in my head. And if I were taking a test, I would do it in my head. But here, I want to explain and make it very clear what I'm doing. But, you know, I could just do it, the whole thing in my head there. And that's equal to negative 3 minus 4. So that's equal to negative 7. I'm going to put a cloud around that and remind myself that this is equal to capital D. Now let's find d sub x. D sub x is a determinant acquired by removing the x coefficients and replacing them with the constants, 7 down below negative 4. But you leave the y coefficients put, 1 down below negative 1. Now let's do cross product minus cross product, 7 times negative 1, and then subtract negative 4 times negative 1. That's equal to negative 7 minus, well, let's see, a negative 4 times a negative 1 is a positive 4. So we have negative 7, and then we, okay, so I have this error right here. This should not be negative. It should be positive, because that cross product came from this diagonal, and it was a negative 4 times a positive 1. So this turns out to be minus a minus 4, which is plus 4. So we have negative 7 plus 4. So d sub x turns out to be equal to a negative 3. I put a cloud around that, and I call that d sub x. And finally, we have d sub y, and that is acquired by taking the determinant. Now replace the x coefficients in the first column, 3 down below 4, and then replace the y coefficients with the constant, 7 down below negative 4. Okay, so that's equal to cross product 3 times negative 4 minus cross product 4 times 7. So that is negative 12 minus what? 28, and that equals negative 40. Put a cloud around that and call it capital D sub y. And now we make our conclusion. Thus, the solution xy to the system that we started with is d sub x over d, comma, d sub y over d. You have to remember that. It's basically a formula. So that means it's equal to, the d sub x value was, let's see, negative 3 over d, which is negative 7, comma. The d sub y formula gave us negative 40 divided by 7. Negative over a negative is a positive, so our final xy solution to this system is positive 3/7, comma, and positive, or rather negative, a negative over a negative. So it makes it a positive 40 over 7. And we are finished.